Hello, everyone. It's me, Andrew. Hopefully, y'all are doing well out there. I'm in my home in lovely Ligonier, Pennsylvania. William is at his pottery class. So he is there while I'm here. We were going to go on earlier, but we were getting the car fixed this morning. And we're doing some last minute things, getting ready for the Spark Retreat that's happening this weekend. If you don't know what that is, it's the BIPOC cohort of SIBS, which is the Society of Inclusive Blacksmiths. They're a really wonderful organization. And if you're not familiar with them, I definitely recommend checking them out. Uh, it's a really inspirational group who do a lot of good work. And yeah, so it's going to be, we've been planning, or I've been planning or helping plan the Spark Retreat for a while now. We started working on this probably 2 years ago. And our first retreat was in Providence, Rhode Island at the Steel Yard. And then we're at Touchstone Center for Crafts this weekend. So I'm super excited for that. I'm looking forward to hanging out with a lot of fun folks who I don't usually get to see, at least not in person. So it'll be a good weekend for learning and sharing. And it's for BIPOC, which is Black, Indigenous, or people of color who work in metal. So that's going to happen this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you're in the area and you're like, oh, that sounds really cool, I want to check it out. We do have an opening reception for the Born on Fire show, which is in the main gallery in the lodge over at Touchstone, and that is, I believe, six to eight. And there's a wonderful selection of artists who are in that. That show is curated by David Harper Clemens, who was our keynote speaker in Providence. Our keynote speaker this year is going to be Celeste Flores. She's a really wonderful artist who's based out of California, and does a lot of fabrication for like blacksmithing and railing, and does a lot of cool kind of industrial kind of design stuff. And I'm looking forward to hearing more about her and her journey. I met her last year at Peters Valley when I was attending as a student. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good weekend. Let's see. I have a couple folks watching. Do be sure to like and share if you can. It is always much appreciated. Sandra's watching. Howdy, Sandra from Sweet Pea Gemstones. Hopefully, you're having a good day. Anna's watching. Hi, Anna. Are you working on spooky themed earrings and stuff for your shows? Or are you already on holiday stuff? I always feel like with makers, we're always so much farther ahead, so that we don't get behind when we're actually making. Kimberly from My Beaded Bliss is watching. Howdy. Have you been working on any new YouTube videos? Susie's watching. Howdy, Susie. Our neighbor Susie's watching. Howdy, Susie. Let's see. Anna says, that sounds wonderful, Andrew. I'm super excited. There are a lot of moving parts, and the event keeps growing every year. So there are some, there's always logistical challenges when it comes to building the momentum of events. So I'm looking forward to that. I had kind of a rough night. I couldn't sleep very well last night, and I had like a mini flare up. It's going away, but it's still kind of not 100% yet. So It's harder to do. I don't know, it just makes it more complicated because usually right before an event I can run around and do all the things. And yeah, so it's been a little bit of a doozy. William has been super supportive and has been taking good care of me. And I've been trying to rest and recover and recuperate, but it's a slow going thing. So we're gonna just see how that works. And it says came home early sick. Oh no! Well, hopefully you'll feel better and can get some rest and you know, feel not terrible. Danette's watching. Howdy, Danette. And this is love spooky stuff. I have a couple bracelets in the works. Oh, good, nice. I know you mostly from the earrings you make, so it'll be nice to see what you make with your bracelets. Rona says no, but I need to. I have a pile of ideas building up. That's good. If you get a chance, write them down, kind of create an action plan. I like to organize things by what's easiest to do and then what's hardest to do, and then kind of build out steps of what I can do to get to the harder ones. I wish that we had just a little bit more time um, in our schedule so that we could start working on our evergreen content a little bit more. And if you don't know what that means, it means stuff that isn't like a live event. Live events don't get the same kind of ranking that evergreen content does. So if you are a content creator, it is best to focus on evergreen content because then it comes up more readily in searches. So I wish we had a little bit more time. A lot of it, since Barb retired, William's been picking up the slack with the shipping, and that means a good part of his day and probably 90% of his day is spent working on shipping. So he doesn't have the flexibility to kind of work with me to do brainstorming on stuff like that. At least not right now. So we'll see. We're trying to get into a rhythm of having certain days that we do shipping. And we've been talking about having a day where we don't do a live event so that we can have one day that's just like focused on like content creation and like kind of the nuts and bolts of that. But we haven't got there quite yet. It's scary, y'all. It's one of those things where it's like you don't want to rock the boat when the boat is in motion kind of thing. So we don't want to be like, oh, we're not going to do a live, and then that's one day less of sales, and then the sad times and the the ramen times. Which I love ramen, but maybe not for every meal. So, and it says earrings sell best for sure. Kimberly says, "Oh, that's a good idea." Yeah, it's just a little trick that I use to help organize my thoughts when we're going into pretty much anything. I like to kind of narrow down what I can do. It's kind of like that. What's the Serenity Prayer? Um, I know that's for like the Alcoholic Anonymous, but it's good advice in general. Um, and it's to focus on the things that you can do. Let me look it up. So it says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace. This one's a long one. I don't know that one. basically is to figure out what you can do and then do it. Because a lot of times, what happens is we, as creative people, we come up with all these ideas, and then it becomes almost like they call it the sword of Damocles, where it like hangs over, and you never know if your one movement can cause the blade to drop. So, um, I like to do this where I have little lists that I make, and then I can like mark stuff off. It helps me focus my thoughts and kind of organize things. I also do what's called mind mapping, which I don't know if you all do that, but you start with one singular topic, and then you start writing adjectives and descriptive words about that thing, or things that come to mind when you think of that word, and then you start branching out on like words that describe those words and how it relates to it, to the project, and just getting a big sense of what needs to be done and how it can be done, and also to kind of creatively look at a situation and then be able to come up with an action plan. So let's see. Angela's watching. Howdy, Angela. Kimberly says, a friend of mine sent me a couple journals. I will have to dedicate them to writing down my content ideas. Yeah, there's a lot of people who do bullet journaling. I've not been super successful with that. I keep what's called an idea book. Um, I was very fortunate to go to the School of Visual Arts, where I was able to work with an artist named Brooke Larson. He taught one of my drawing classes, and it wasn't just about drawing, but actually how to kind of be a creative individual and keep the momentum up. And I think about that class a lot because I still use a lot of those things today. So what I do for me is, it's anything that I have an idea of, I'll write it down. And I keep the book and with me, and I take notes and I make drawings. And if I see an interesting little piece of paper or ephemera, I'll stick it in the book. I'll put postcards. I'll put business cards, things that will help remind me to do certain things. And I also make action lists where I kind of make a priority of what needs to get done and what needs to get done first. Um, and it does help. And the reason why I write my ideas down is because when you may run out of steam, or you feel like you've got a block, because I know it happens to everybody. If you have a block, then you can pick up this book and it kind of gives you direction. And it helps me. So I don't know if it works for everybody, but it definitely is something that that is useful to me as a tool. And one thing that he did that was kind of fun and made it kind of interesting was, we would go down to 14th Street, and we'd go to this bookstore called The Strand, and it was like a mile high of books. And I guess maybe if you stack them all on top of each other, they would that equal a mile or something. I don't know. But we would go outside. They would put and this is a long time ago. Now the Strand is like super fancy. Back then it was a little bit scary. But she would go outside, and there were all the carts of books that kind of were either like they got a mass shipment of them and nobody wanted them, or they were like really weird, or just books that nobody wanted. And they would sell them for $1. And sometimes you'd find cool stuff out there, but usually it's kind of books that you're like, and what we would do is we would cut the innards out and use that for like collage material, and put in our own kind of, they call them signatures, and they're little kind of bundles of pages. And that way you can customize the paper that you use in your idea book. Um, and it's a nice way of being able to really like customize and kind of collage in those books. So what I would do when I was in his classes, I would go down to the Strand and get books and kind of gut them out, and turn them. So some of my earliest idea books are, you wouldn't know that they were that because they have the like a commercial binding for book and print. Um, and but I haven't done that in a long time, mostly because like part of me feels weird kind of cutting up books, but the other part is that I just buy books now. I like this brand called Hand Journal. The paper is really good. It's a little bit thicker, so you can watercolor on them if you need to watercolor. So I use those. Though they don't have as large of a page count as some of the other books, so it does take me. I go through them pretty quick, so that I don't love, but otherwise it'd be Jumbotron. So I guess that makes sense. Sandra says, "I always got overwhelmed with what to do first. I have so many ideas." Yeah, and I think that's a common thing that happens to people, especially creative people who do generate a lot of ideas. I sometimes suffer from this myself, as I never stop thinking, and so I end up with a lot of things that I like to work on, and then generally there's so many things that I almost get paralyzed by that. So I also try to set aside time, like dedicated time, and to work through those lists. Um, and it's usually helpful for me. I know that some folks they kind of struggle with it. Um, but I also sometimes will create a reward system. So if I do all the things on my list, then I'll treat myself to like a fancy coffee, or um, I'll um, get something nice to eat somewhere or something. And because I know that I'm very like reward motivated. It's like if and it doesn't have to be like a big thing, but it is something that's like it helps you like look forward to something. So I kind of set up a system for myself where if I do certain things, then I'll get a certain thing. One of the ones that I do, which I probably shouldn't do as much because it's starting to take over our whole house and the cottage, is I'll get a book when I've completed certain tasks, and um, so I have a lot of books. But yeah, Teresa's watching. Howdy, how's it going? Haven't seen you for a while. I was thinking about you earlier. um yeah, so we've been super busy today getting kind of stuff ready. I don't know, maybe when William I am normally I would just like run downstairs and grab some stuff to show you things, but with my foot kind of hurting still, I don't want to like risk it because I'm not fast. And I probably should like figure that out for the weekend. I might try to get them. They have a little golf cart, so maybe I can convince them to like shuttle me around so I don't have to like walk so much. I know. So here's the catch 22. I know that the walking will be good for me, but when it starts to hurt, it really starts to hurt. So I don't want to be like out in the woods, sleeping in a room with somebody else and trying to like gently cry into my pillow kind of situation. So, yeah. So we'll see. Um, but yeah, we've been busy today. William has been helping me with some of the swag merchandise and materials for the weekend. So we've been making buttons, and he went down to Unity Printing, and they have a beautiful color laser printer, and they work really. Their work very. Their work is very affordable. So we work with Unity Printing whenever we can. They're a really wonderful resource if you're local. And so he got some stuff printed there and started making the buttons that we're going to hand out, or I'm going to hand out for registration. And on Friday, my friend Bianca is coming into town. So I'm going to pick her up at the bus station, in Johnstown, and hopefully swing by the Center for Metal Arts and our shop and show her kind of a little bit about, our lives here. And then we're going to run over to Touchstone, and that's going to be a whole weekend full of festivities. So it's going to be a big, 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 big weekend, and we've been planning it for a long time. What are y'all up to? Are y'all up to anything interesting? Um, any projects or plans in the works? I always am interested what people get up to or what they're interested in right now. Even if it's not bead related, I'm always curious what folks are kind of getting into. Like I've not been able to work as much as I normally do. It's just because, like, depending on how I sit or um, stand, it can be really painful. So I've been kind of doom scrolling a lot, which is not super productive, but it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, so I've been watching the Cardi B trial and kind of the outtakes from that. I don't know who that lady's lawyer is, the Amani Ellis, but she needs to get her money back because he sounds a fool. And I don't know him, and maybe y'all know him, and he's a lovely person. But I would be like upset. I'd be like, could we not talk about her wigs, maybe? Anyways, I find it kind of amusing, and I love her candor. And I can't say that I listen to Cardi B like a lot, um, but I do appreciate kind of how, like, she says it how it is, and um, is pretty to the point about certain things. And I'm not like that, so I appreciate that. Well, I kind of am like that, but I appreciate that more in other people. So, anyways, that's kind of like my little guilty pleasure. And then I make William watch the clips too, and he's like, I don't know what's going on. And then I'm like, here, look at this. Kimberly says, my busy part of the month has started with a day job. Excuse me. And we have the state fair this weekend. The Hubs leaves tomorrow, and then Henry and I follow Friday after his football game. That should be fun. I used to work, I used to help out when there was a lot of construction in town at one point that was happening right in front of our store, and so our numbers dropped significantly, and so I had to pick up kind of side jobs to keep things going. And so one of the side jobs that I did is I helped one of my friends. She had a booth at the Minnesota State Fair, and it was bananas. Like it was just so there were just like so many people. Um, and I guess people they save up all year long to go to the state fair, and they were just like throwing money. I had like wads of cash that were wild. And there was like this cookie place where they would give you like a bucket of cookies, and people would kind of like drop them and not pick them up. So there was like you could always tell where the cookie was because it was like the sidewalk was covered in like cookie crumbs. It was like paved in cookies. And it was pretty wild, but it was a good time. But it was also a ton of work, and I'm so glad that I'm not doing it because uh, it it's a lot of work. And I think if I was doing that while I had the gout, I would just like lay down on the ground and cry. Anna says, Sweet Martha's cookies. Yeah. Yeah, they were super. I don't know. I guess they're not open like all year long, but they do like all the profit. I don't know if it's still that way. I can't imagine having a business like that. But guess they make so much money during the state fair that they don't have to like operate the rest of the year. But I kind of feel that that's like an urban legend, because sometimes they would say stuff like that about like Fort Ligonier days. I mean, it's not the same at all. Let's be honest, it's not the same. I mean, there's a lot of people that come into town and there's a lot of activity, but it's not anything close to Minnesota State Fair kind of business. But so people said that, oh, well, you just have to work the Fort Ligonier days as a shop owner, and then you just don't have to worry about the rest of the year. And I was like, I honestly don't know what y'all are selling. Maybe y'all are selling like crack in the back or something. But we didn't operate like that. I mean, we had a good weekend usually, but it was also, we would have to hire in extra help and do extra work. And generally speaking, it wouldn't, beads are so specific. Like, if you're a beater, then that would be awesome. But not everybody who would come into our store would buy something. Like, I guess if you sold food, and like cookies, maybe, because then it's like if somebody's in line for a cookie, they're gonna buy a cookie. But like if they come into like a bead store, there's like, maybe they're a beater, maybe they're not a beater, maybe they like rocks, maybe they like crystals, maybe they don't. So it's like, people would walk in and they kind of look around real quick and then realize it wasn't for them and then like walk away. So we had a lot of that. And we still have that. Um, but I don't know. Um, Anna says, I spent 5 years in college working at the state fair. It's really neat. I think it's like such a cultural phenomenon, especially in that area. And like they have really big, like big musical people who play the music, and it's very festive. And there's just tons and tons of people, and it's a really festive event. I will give it that. It is a little bit like, I don't love. Even though I lived in New York City, I don't particularly love big crowds. And when you like walk out and there's like a sea of people, that can be like nerve wracking. So usually I just stayed at the booth and just try to work, because I didn't like trying to navigate all of that. And they're like, you want to take a break? And I was like, nope, I'm good. So yeah, but they did have a lot of delicious food. They also had a lot of like weird things that were fried, like fried butter and fried Oreos and they had like this thing that looked like a unicorn threw up in a cup. It was like cotton candy ice cream with glitter sprinkles and marshmallows and all kinds of stuff in there. And somehow it was fried, or something on the inside was fried. I don't know. I didn't eat it because I didn't want to have the tummy turbulence. But they did have certain things that were looked a little bit I think that it's that like carnival atmosphere that they were like trying to top it. So like they're like, oh, you know what, that's not enough, let's do XYZ to make it even more over the top. But they did have some really cool things like butter sculptures. I thought that was pretty cool. They have like a state fair queen, and then they like carve her likeness and butter. And then they have this room of artwork that's made out of seeds. And I mean, if they're not beaters, they should be, because it's pretty incredible. But it is festive, and I did like it to a degree. But it was long days, and you would be thunderstruck tired from it. And most of the food vendors make enough that they don't have to do, I'm guessing, for the rest of the year. Um, and Anna said, that's why I did not go this year. Too many people. Yeah, and when I went, it was super duper hot. And let's just say not everybody had planned for that. And it was how you call them, strange things and mysterious smells. And I was real sensitive to some of that. So I had this like scarf that I would wear, and people like, it's like a gajillion degrees, but it was like a real lightweight scarf, and I like spritzed it with stuff, and so I could like hold it up over my face a little bit, um, and get a little bit of fresh air that way. Anna said the alligator on a stick, and then she said, every year the food people try to make more interesting stuff. Yeah, it is pretty wild. I also really love like the Americana of it. There is a like they love Paul Bunyan, and they love uh Babe the Blue Ox, and it's like, it's just so of the region, and I love that kind of stuff. Kimberly says Kansas does a different butter sculpture every year. One year they did a scene from The Wizard of Oz. Wow. Anna says when I go, I arrive bright and early. Yeah, that's probably the best. You get to like zip around in and out and not have to deal with all that. And Kimberly says, yes, Anna, my son shows sheep for 4-H. So we are there before the gates open. Hubby and the boys stay on the fairgrounds. I get a hotel. Well, that sounds fun. We've been watching this show on Netflix. Usually, whenever we have dinner, we try to watch like a show or two. And we've been watching this show called The Walter Boys, or My Time with the Walter Boys. I don't know it. It's on the Netflix. It's about a girl who lives in New York City who ends up moving to Colorado, and like people are like rodeo people, and it's very interesting. I think it's charming, and it's also like a high school show, and I get intrigued by those kind of like love things. And I'm so glad that I'm not a hormonal teenager anymore. I'm just a hormonal middle-aged person. And I don't have like the like wild things. Like I'm like, what are they doing? And then you realize they can't help themselves. They're like bewitched by their feelings like that, and you're like, oh boy, good luck with that. um all right, let's see. Yeah, it says yes, 4-H and FFA animal showing are awesome to watch. I did see, I think it was like the baby animals, and that was adorable. It was real cute. Um, so yeah. All right. So, anyways, William brought me a bag of stuff to show you all. I was thinking about doing a tutorial, but I don't know. Um, I don't know. Maybe we'll do something. I don't know. What are y'all in the mood for? Maybe do a little bit of tutorial something. I'll let y'all pick. Maybe I'll design something. I haven't had time to make any jewelry in like 1,000 years. So it would be nice to kind of do that. But I don't know. I was thinking about maybe pressing out some polymer. That might be fun. We can chit chat, catch up. It's been a minute. I haven't seen you all in a long time. I've been in the background. It is kind of nice to watch. I feel like I end up like sharing kind of stories that maybe I shouldn't when I do that, but I probably do that when I'm doing the talk on the front. So I don't know. Let's see. Is there, do y'all have any strong preference? I can show, well, I know what I'll do. I'll go and I'll show you some of the things that I've made over the years as samples, and then you can see some of the things I've made over the years, and probably didn't finish because there's a whole lot of stuff that did not get finished. And then, yeah. Kimberly says, I do enjoy watching them show their animals, but this is our last year because Henry is in sports and David is off to college. So what are y'all going to do with the sheep? Do you are you going to sell them? Or what do you do with them when you're done showing them? I don't know. All right, let me flip this around. Anna says we all have unfinished projects. Yeah, I have lots. I have extra because I do like a sample to like show you like a stitch, and then like to make a finished project with like a stitch. Sometimes it's like I'm not really into it, and then like it's fun to like show you all the process, but I'm not like committed to it. So then I end up with like a box of like half finished things. I do try every once in a while to finish up some stuff, but I haven't really had a chance to make anything lately. So I've been doing all kinds of stuff, running around. Kimberly says we'll still have the farm, and we'll still do the country fair, but we are done with the state fair. Well, hopefully y'all had a good run. Anna says, at the state fair, they auction the project animals. Some people keep them too. All right, let's see how they do this. Because, oh, they changed it. That's convenient. Let me clean the lens. William always says that my camera is dirty, and then it's like we're in one of those romance scenes where they smear the Vaseline on the lens, and that's how you know that they're gonna get down to business because they have the Vaseline on the camera lens. And I'm like, no, it's probably just like paint or polymer clay residue. I do have this sticker that's supposed to be for healing, and it's on a place that's got hair, and it's starting to pull every once in a while. So that is less than ideal. But, anyways. I guess I could have turned the thing off, and so you don't have to like listen to me grunt as I bend over. Brooke is watching. Howdy, Brooke. Kimberly says yes, they have been very successful. Oh, good. I'm gonna pull that little sticker off. William's mom gave me these stickers, and they've been helping manage the pain. I don't actually know how they work. There's like, they send like infrared rays or something. So one thing that I did, I don't know if I showed you all this, but or if I worked on this with y'all or if I just did it. But this is circular brick stitch, and I made this rainbow, and then I was gonna try to embed this into enamel. So we'll see if I actually, that's one of the projects that I've got on my list. So one of the projects that I did over the years is we made this little kit of ginkgo leaves, and I showed how to texture them and give them kind of some volume so it's not just flat. That's one project that we did together. I showed how to make this little bag, this little amulet bag. I never finished it. And then I kind of experimented with different kinds of fringe on this. So there's like this kind of those daggers at the bottom. And then at one point I showed how to make a beaded bead on top of a little plastic bead. That one, I don't know about that one. I feel like I missed some parts, but I think that's part of like the joy of it. But I forgot a lot of this stuff. I've forgotten how to do. So there you go. This is just peyote stitch. I did not finish that. This is even count peyote stitch. That's probably my favorite to do because you don't actually have to like count, or you don't have to do the step ups. So I like that. This is some kind of thing. I don't know what this is. Looks like a pasty for like if you're gonna do the burlesque dancing. Um and or maybe that's to do a bracelet. I don't know. Maybe it was during one of the make alongs. But that could be fun. It's like it looks like something from a kit. I have no recollection of making that. I guess I could always look up our videos, and that could be a thing. And then I made a bunch of these beaded ropes. And I don't know if I show which one I showed or not. Again, I need a refresh on some of this stuff because it's done gone away. Oh well. And it's one of those things, definitely with like beading, you have to use it or lose it. Because I've noticed that if I don't do those stitches like consistently, I always forget a step. And then I'm like, oh, that's it. That's what I forgot. Brooke says peyote stitch is one of my favorites. I used to have an odd count. I used to hate odd count, but then I learned the 2 needle technique. I don't know that technique. This is a tubular herringbone stitch. This one is pretty satisfying. I think this is chenille stitch. And then this looks like right angle weave. Just real basic. And then I used, I think what makes this one a little bit different is that I used sodalite beads and mixed them with some check. And this is another kind of right angle weave. And I used to get, like, I'm not really great at like dimensional right angle weave, but well, I guess I'm not terrible. I just don't do it very often. And then I made this little dragon. And this is brick stitch. This is from a design from Bead Crumbs. And that's from Hawaii. I don't know if I did that online. I did this like freeform thing, and it's all different sodalite. And that's fun. And then this one is, oh, what is that one called? I think V-stitch. And then it makes a kind of zigzag. And this is circular brick stitch, and then it's got a little fringe. It kind of looks like a little like a, what you call it, jellyfish chevron chain. That's it. I think there's another name for that though. And then this is this branch coral fringe. And what I did was I made a little girdle, a little ring, and then put branch coral all around it, and then put 2 beads, and then sandwich this in between. Can you believe that I would spend a whole like 5 hours doing this, and then I was like talking while y'all are like I don't know how I did that. Oh, here's that other ginkgo leaf. This one I painted with some that patina paints, and I think that turned out pretty good. Had some little dingle dangles at the bottom. That's fun. This one is peyote stitch, but with daggers, and they kind of look like little creatures. But what it is you just swap out some of the rocals for these little daggers, and you have these little sliders. And then I made this. This is a tubular peyote, I think. It looks like it. And those I love to make those. Those you don't even have to think. You just and go around and around. And those are pretty fun. Though I could have finished this off a little bit better. Anna said that this one looked like a dream catcher. Yeah, I could see that. Here's the other one of that earring. So you have these earrings that are like that. That actually turned out pretty nice. A lot of times I look at this stuff and then I'm like, oh, that doesn't look terrible. Which that's usually a good thing. Like I like this one. This is spiral stitch, but I used check glass in it and coral, and I think that turned out pretty good. You can't tell that it's spiral stitch though because it's so big, but I think that has a fun kind of wintry vibe. Doesn't that look all right? That don't look terrible. I like that. Um, and then I was on a kick for making these mandalas. I was just like beating them in all these different color combinations. And there's a box somewhere that has a bunch of these. And I think I came up with some of the patterns for those, but then I don't know if I ever did anything with those patterns or not. Some of these, like this one, I kind of came up with this little thing, and it's like mostly right angle weave. But again, like a lot of this stuff, if you don't, like I'm doing this thing with circular brick stitch, and I have to do like 20 to 30, 50 more. This is again spiral stitch, but with the daggers. And so you get a little bit of that kind of creature movement. I kind of like it. Some people don't like it. They get itchy, like it's got something like digging around on them. But I think that's fun. Silver and green, kind of a winter green kind of combo using one of the AG Fine pewter toggles. I think that's all right. Here's the other one of that. So those are fun. Those are actually finished, believe it or not. And then more of this. I did this where I layered up some of the sequins. You can see how I layered up the sequins. And that's supposed to show you that like it's gonna add a little bit of reflection. Except these sequins look so cheap. I should use like nice sequins that don't look so cheap. And then this would look dramatically better. Um, sometimes if you make that's the thing, is like those gold are kind of like that gold, like Christmas mylar kind of things. And so that's why that has a very specific kind of vibe. And then I made these like Christmas, autumn Christmas tree type things. I didn't know if that's brick stitch or not. I mean, it's real easy. You start with ladder stitch, probably brick stitch, and then you make these little triangles. And here's another one of those that zigzag. Brooke said that it's chevron chain, so it probably is. And then here's another thing. This looks like a nudie branch. And this is, I don't know what this is. Probably, what it probably is a base of right angle weave, and then I put fringe all over coming out of it. And I think that looks fun. This doesn't give it the like you can't really see, but the light or the inner kind of part has like a pink core, kind of a fuchsia core. So when you have all this stuff kind of like hanging off of it, it kind of looks like it's got a little glowing thing. So it does look like a little nudie branch. And then I was making this stuff that I don't know what this is. I guess this is supposed to be a pendant, and it's gonna be flopping around like that. Hey, this one looks alright. That's circular brick stitch with the peacoat on the edge. And here's another one. This is like this one, except this one is I did like a coral fringe, and this I just did like a little peacoat edge with a drop, and then put the 2 beads. So that's the. I guess you can use beadwork to give your stuff a little bit of texture. That's one thing that I like about beadwork. It has a lot of texture. And then this is just spiral stitch. I like that. I used to teach spiral stitch all the time in the shop. People would come in and off the street, and I would just teach it. So I can teach that one in my sleep pretty much. So those are those earrings. I think I call this like Amber Cross. And then I realized that that's a porn star's name. And so yeah. And then there was this one. And then I must have taken some apart because I have all this like, oh, I know what this is from. This is from a necklace that I was putting together for. I like beaded around a little polymer clay zombie face that I did. I should take that out because it is kind of Halloween time. I don't know where that business is. But here's some of the projects that I've done over the years, and that's not even all of them. That's just probably from, because we used to do, I can't remember what was happening, but William was gone a lot. And so I was having to do the lives, and I was showing like a new stitch every day, and it was like a summer of stitching, which was good. I should do that again, get refreshed. The ones that I'm working on a sculpture now that's beaded, and it's just all covered in circular brick stitch. And yeah, so I also made some other things too. I'll show you this creature. This is one that I started on a live, but clearly I didn't do it all in one sitting. I probably could have done it pretty quick, but it took a long time. And this is mostly circular brick stitch, believe it or not, and then like filler. If you look close, you can kind of see it. This, because I used so many different kinds of beads, it did take extra long to do that. And then I made this kind of fringe on its head. Holly said, glad to catch you. How do we pay? You mean do what? Like these? This not for sale. This is just a show. But if you do have an invoice, it should go to your email address. I think William sent out invoices last night, and there's a bunch that are still open. So just check your email. But this is that little critter. And then I should have made that. I started on this blowfish, this deflated blowfish, and then I'm like, what the heck did I do? I spent like weeks working on this giant, it looked kind of like an eggplant. I should just kind of like turn it into an eggplant creature because that's what it looks like. But I work on that. That was one of the projects that I did. I don't really remember when I did that. And then one of the other ones, this one I have to finish sewing this. It's so, and it's going to be covered, believe it or not. One day I'll get to it. It's like a wool piece. And it'll look kind of like, oh boy. It'll look like this once it's done. But big and black. So that was that. I do like a beaded texture, let me tell you. You know, people ask for these all the time, and then, but for showing, I was having such a hard time getting people to show these in like a museum and gallery. So I'm gonna have to like keep making, just keep going and get these shown eventually, because I don't know if they ever got shown anywhere. I hope that they get shown somewhere. And then let's see what else. I made it. There's another box like the one that I showed, but I didn't. Those are all projects that I showed online. So how was that for a trip down memory lane? Some of y'all new people don't really know about me, but I'm Andrew, and I make stuff. I'm the creative director, which means I look at the internet a lot and then make kind of stylistic choices of what to buy. But William started to do some of that too. And then this one, when my dad died, I started working on this one. But these are all made up of these little tiny black flowers. And I don't know if I'm ever going to finish this, to be honest. And Brooke said, I recently saw a beadwork exhibit at a museum. It was really good. Do you remember which one and what the show was? There was a really wonderful Joyce J. Scott show at the Baltimore Museum of Art, and that was really good. I'll put that there so y'all don't get bored. Ooh. Holly says, love it. Thanks. So, and also I used to make jewelry a lot more because we would make it for the shop. And when we were in town, I used to sell more jewelry. Now I kind of took a break to focus on like my metal smithing and my enameling. So I don't really have as much jewelry um, as I used to. Vicky says, I was looking at a bunch of your older work last night. Very impressive. Oh, thanks. Where did you look? I don't even remember where one would look. Maybe on my Instagram. I put a bunch of stuff on Instagram. I mostly post there. I post stuff on Facebook too, but on my personal kind of thing. But it's usually kind of like funny stuff or generational trauma. So you never know what you're going to get. You may think you're going to get like something funny and like memes about cats doing stuff. And then it's like, when I was a little boy, we were really poor. And then you're like, oh, so you never know. Brooke says the show was called Radical Stitch. It was associated with a museum in Canada that traveled to a museum near me. It featured Native American artists. Oh, I read about that. I think that one looked really good. I saw them. I think there was a write up in Ornament magazine. Um, and I watched an interview with some of the artists that were in that show. That looked really good. Vicky said, I just perused your photos on Facebook. Yeah, I've been super, I sometimes think to myself that I don't really make that much stuff, but you know what? I probably make stuff like every single day. So, and I'm starting to lose my memory a little bit. So I have made a ton of stuff over the years because I've been doing this for over 20 years now. So there's just like a lot of stuff. And I even forget how to do some of this stuff. I was like, oh, this is really cool. I wonder how this artist did this. And then William's like, you made that. And I was like, oh. So yeah, we've been busy. I can show you some paintings. How about that? Do y'all want to see some paintings? I know usually William he's like showing like lots and stuff, but I figured I'd give you a little bit of a break until he gets back, and then that may make it a little bit easier. So I'm gonna run to the bedroom and get a stack of paintings, and then I'll be right back. Some of this stuff, unless you on the Patreon, you didn't see it. Here, I'll let you look at this one too. This one, my birds. I do a lot of my stuff. I put birds on it. Put a bird on it. I was like, maybe running back and forth isn't like the smart decision. But I also made this. This is one of my paintings. Um, and this is one after I got like estranged from some people. Then it was like I was busting out of my snake skin and like shedding the skin and breaking the chain. And then like there's like a butterfly, all this like change things. So, and I kind of had this idea about like this swirling kind of vortex of all these like little bits of stuff. So there's that one. Maybe what I'll do is I'll run. Barnaby, he ran into the one room. He's not supposed to go in there by himself. And then here's this one. And I'll pull it up a little bit higher. And so that one, I had this dream of this like I maybe idealized version of my youth time self as like a teenager. And had a white alligator around my neck, and then like these swamp weeds, and then these like fireflies. And so I try to capture the light of like if it was shown, like if it was glowing from the fireflies. I don't know if you can see that very good or not. And it doesn't actually look like me, but oh well, whatever. Maybe as the youth time. And then this one, kind of like there's a Frida Kahlo painting that's kind of looks like that, but it's different. You're gonna see all the junk. Oh wow. So the background's all collaged, and then I guess I have this thing about making their necks real long. And then it has a flower with an eye, and that's kind of like knowing over like a secret. They had this thing back in the day called the lover's eye, and sometimes people they give that to their like secret undercover lover. Um, I don't really have that, but that's for like I guess if you have like that you know something. And then I was playing around with painting fabric, so trying to get there. And then I made this one. I don't know why I have this obsession of painting on these surfaces that are real kind of rough. But it chews up my brushes and it makes all the things I paint look like they have like the deep scar acne. But it I guess I was trying to like replicate the surface of a fresco. And so Cynthia says, is it over? No, I'm just real slow because I have the gout. So I've been like hobbling to the other rooms to get the paintings to show. And then Michelle's here. Howdy, Michelle. My beauty bliss says, love this, so pretty. Um, and so that's that. And then Elena says, I love this obsession. It gives so much depth to your pieces. Oh, thanks. I don't know. It's kind of, it chews up the brushes. So I don't know if I'm personally, I think I'm also trying to play around with like different lighting sources. So I have this idea of like candlelight. And so, um, Brooke said that sounds uncomfortable. Hope you feel better soon. Yeah, me too. Cynthia says painting this way, it actually is a nice quality. Oh, thanks. Well, there you go. That's how I do it. I mix up a bunch of dirt and stuff. They're actually ashes. And then I grind them up and then I mix them into the base. And so that's how that gets done. Michelle says, love how you paint the eyes. I think I did all right. Um, this one, I think the eyes are better. Well, I don't know. Um, and then this one, I like the eyes on this one better. It's like it shook. Let me hobble on over to the other room for a second to get another one. I'll be back in a minute. So talk amongst yourselves for a bit. All right. So I paint a lot of like fantasy stuff. And I was kind of, at one point, I was kind of getting over the holidays. And I was like, oh, when you work in the retail, sometimes the holidays are not very fun. And it becomes like, kind of a drag. Because then you have to, like, for one, you start working on holiday stuff like months and months in advance. And then number two, by the time it rolls around, you're already like on to the next thing. So sometimes I was kind of losing my holiday spirit. And so one of the things that I did to kind of like reclaim my holiday spirit was to kind of explore um, holiday traditions and winter holiday traditions from around the world. And so I would do these paintings, and this is a sugar plum. Kimberly says, are these William? No, everybody asks that. If I made it look like William, I would make it look like him. He doesn't want me to paint him. But so this is a sugar plum fairy. And she's like doing this ballet dance, which was actually pretty challenging to get that because it doesn't look like the body should look like that. And yet, that's how they make their body. I think that one turned out pretty good. I like to paint every day if I can, but I have gotten out of the practice of doing it. But I would like to do that, like start painting every day again. I paint maybe um, once a week, but I like to paint every day if I can. So there's that one. My kind of goal is to loosen up a little bit with my pieces because I get into this thing where I get like hyper fixated on details. Vicky says reminds me of the Balinese dancers. I think that's where that kind of inspiration station came from. Lena says, I swear one of your paintings looks like William's mom. Maybe it's subconscious. It could be. I see her all the time. I actually don't. I never leave the house or I'm always traveling. Like she was here at the house today. They helped fix the car. Her and William's dad. Because our the van wouldn't start. So they came to the rescue, thankfully. Um, so one of my goals over the past couple of years is to kind of loosen up and not be so like fixated on rendering because I was getting where I was like, I don't know, I was like trying to I get like obsessed with some of the details and it would take like months to make a painting. And so I wanted to have a little bit more freedom and to try to play with like the colors more. And there's details, of course, but it's different. And so my background, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I was mostly doing mixed media and collage. Um, in the painting program there, they had really good painting teachers, but um, it wasn't like a technical school. Like some schools, they teach you more like, more old master techniques and stuff. And the school I went to was not so much about that. So, so that's what I got my degree in is painting and mixed media. But anyway, so I've been trying to get a little bit away from doing too much of like the stuff that looks like it's rendered, like a I don't know how to say that, but I've been trying to get more about the shapes of things instead of just like I'm painting. I don't know. I like both styles, so that's where it gets tricky. So, anyways, I started making these collages, and I like them a lot. So I need to make more. I made some bird ones that are in the other room too, but um, yeah. So those are some of the paintings that I worked on. I don't know if y'all saw those or not. Maybe not, because you know, I don't. I'm for a while I was making them for or as like a Patreon perk, so I would like paint a painting every month for that. And I had to get away from that because I was getting so behind. Because, like, if I travel or go around to teach, there's like no time to do that. And so, I haven't done that for a minute. We changed it up. Anna says, Love the dragon. Thanks. I thought that one came out pretty good. Um, I'm starting to get into trying to loosen up my style a little bit, because that, I don't know. We'll see if I can continue that or if I'll go back to the more rendered stuff. Um, but that's that. All right. Um, I don't know. I think William should be on his way home. I don't know if he's watching or not. I actually don't know how long his class is. Generally, he comes around like 9, maybe 9 o'clock. But I don't know. Anyways, um, so let's do some lots. Oh boy, there. I don't know if y'all want that. Or maybe I'll keep showing paintings until he comes, because that makes it easier for me, because then it's not so frantic. I'll go and show this like this so you can tell that the picture is moving. But y'all saw this. But I do want to try to put this into the enamel and see if it will fuse to the surface. Because all of the stuff that I see usually for when they put seed beads in enamel, they're kind of like face the other direction. So, and that's mostly because the people, they're not beaders. So they don't really bead stuff, you know? They're just kind of like placing it and then melting it. And then let's see what else. Here, I'll let you take a gander of this while I go in the other room and grab another painting. Michelle says, "What is that bird?" This is a bird that I cut out and then textured, and then I painted it. And I taught a class on how to paint on metal. And Sandra was in that class. And then I set this in the eyeball hole. And this is soldered with soft solder. So I probably should have soldered that with like real solder and not this soft solder because it's causing it to turn colors, but whatever. And then, yeah, and then there's a great big natural garnet that's hanging off. And I kind of had this as a pendant that had little for a necklace that had hooks on it, so it could hook on. But then when you're not wearing it, you can take it and put it and hang it up. So that was that. And then I stamped it. So you get that kind of pattern in there. Michelle says, so pretty. Thanks. But see how there's like a correlation? See? You can 100% see the connection of my paintings to my my newer kind of jewelry stuff. I'd like to do more of these, actually. That would be fun, I think. I like this ring kind of idea because the ring is nice because then you can hang it and stuff. And also it kind of looks like it's when this was new, it looked like it was like flying into the sun because this was real bright gold. But I guess the acid that I used for the soft solder, I must have not cleaned it very good because it's starting to turn the brass into starting to verdigris it, which I don't mind, but I didn't intend that. So anyway, Michelle says I can. Oh, good. Yeah, I think that's nice when there's like a connection. I'll show you a bird painting that I did. Well, there's this one too. This is one of my pierced out things. So I took a jeweler's saw and I cut this all out and riveted it together. Um, and then I made my own pin back. This thing, I was learning how to make the pin backs, and this took longer than all the sawing took. Was figuring out this mechanism. And that was a pain in the butt. And I'm gonna have to brush that off again because I want to start making some more of these brooches. And I like this mechanism. You see how that's with the steel wire, and it's got like it has like a torque and tension, and it clips into it, and it's real sturdy. So I need to get a little bit faster at making those. I've been kind of not necessarily cheating, but I've been using like tie tack backs for them for most of my little pins. But if I want to make anything bigger, I need something that's going to be a little bit more substantial like that. So You can see all these birds in my work. And when I was little, my mom, she told me these stories about how if I was bad, this giant bird would come out of the sky and pick us up and carry us away and eat us. And we were like, no, no, that's not real. It turns out there is a thing, it's called a giant monkey eating eagle, and they are real. And sometimes they mistake the children for the monkeys. And if they're off by themselves and they're little enough, then they swoop in and get the kids. And it's a very cool pin. Yeah, it's this one I could have done a little bit. I think what I did was I didn't line it up, or there was something, but I riveted these together. And there was something like there was one that I didn't account for for how thin I had carved it, so or cut it. And so that was kind of like a pain in the butt. But you know what? I almost forgot about it. So I guess if I forgot about it, then it doesn't matter. But so there's that one. I think that one turned out all right. But I need to make some more, keep it up. I think I'm gonna have to stop running up and down because it's getting kind of hard for me. So I'm gonna maybe switch to do the lots if people are interested. I have a couple different ideas, and one of the ideas is I like these. I don't know if he showed these to you or not. Did he show these to you last night? Oh, hallelujah. How's it going?
All right, I'm worn out.
We're playing show and tell.
That's good.
You gonna do your show and tell now?
Yes, I can.
William's gonna do his show and tell. And it says I tried making the pin mechanism and it's hard. Yeah, it's not it seems like a relatively easy concept, but it's not. I mean, I guess if you do it in like anything. But this is like a tube that I soldered and then had to like file it down so it had a notch. And you can't make the notch too big and you can't make the notch too small because if it's too small, it won't stick. And then if it's too big, it gets caught up on all your clothes. Michelle said, "Miss part of yesterday, I had to rest." Boy, I feel you. I ran around getting these paintings. I was like, who decided to do this? All right, I'm gonna swap it out so William can sit with you. He's gonna show you his new pottery. We're both elderly, Tom. We're like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm not feeling great today.
Oh no. Maybe we skip the live part. I don't know.
Whew. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Get these bags off of here. All right. Oh. Howdy.
How come you ever talk like how I talk?
Howdy. I don't know. How
you
do I
never
talk?
Said that, and then now
howdy?
I
used to say howdy all the time.
Who?
Me. Howdy.
After you met me.
Howdy, folks. Oh, so what's going on, everybody?
I was just doing show and tell. First, I showed them all the projects I made one summer that were stitched and pretty much half done. And then I showed them some paintings.
I saw you showing the paintings, some of the paintings on my drive here. I like some of these paintings. I forgot about some of them.
Even though they stare at you while you sleep.
I know. You showed the Sugar Plum Fairy. I was glad because I was looking at that one the other night. I was like, that one is actually really, really, not actually, but is really, really good.
The face and the hands are particularly nice.
They are really nice. And it's
the feet, though. I don't
like
the feet.
I have looked at this one a lot because we made prints of it, but I never really looked at it. Like, when you just like stare at it. And I was doing that in bed the other night. And I was like, this one is a really nice painting.
I was like, what happened? And then I didn't mention the sale that we're having.
Oh, what have you been doing?
Showing painting.
So everybody, we are having a sale. It's called our Passport sale. And it is in Passport with the little kids, with our fur babies. We are taking 25% off, not just 25% off everything in the online store right now. So you can save 25% off everything using discount code Italy, because we are trying to get to Italy.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. And we are trying to support our business while we are in Italy. I was talking about this a little bit yesterday, how, here, let me put one of these up so you can see. I was talking about this a little bit yesterday, how when you're a small business, like, you don't get vacation days and vacation hours. So when we go away, we not only have to pay for the trip itself, we have to pay for the time we're away to cover all the bills.
Technically, it's not really a vacation.
No, it is not a vacation, but
I have to do the.
He is working. He's doing a workshop in Italy, and I am going along, hopefully, for
pal around, maybe.
Yeah, with some of the other spouses.
Maybe. Some of them are going mountain biking and stuff.
Yeah, so I won't be doing that.
You probably won't be doing that.
Very possibly, probably not.
But you can walk around.
Yeah. So that's going on in the online store. Just use discount code Italy to save 25% off. Did you tell them about all the car stuff? We got the van fixed today.
I kind of briefly mentioned it, but I actually know what was happening, so I can talk about it too in depth.
My mom and dad came over, and they picked up a battery. So we talked about it yesterday a little bit, how they were going to look for a good used battery, and they found one. So we saved a lot of money on doing that instead of getting a full brand new battery. And then they also picked up some oil. So my dad showed me how to do an oil change in the van.
Useful.
They're very useful. So in the future, I should hopefully be able to do the oil changes ourselves in the van.
What do you do with the oil?
That goes, my uncle actually collects it and takes it to a place.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I think you can use it for casting stuff.
I don't know.
They mix it into, it's like dirty though. It's like a dirty, they mix it with sand and clay, and then they make this stuff called Delft clay. So who knows?
Who knows? So these are some little bowls that I made. My little dishes.
In your, at your ceramics.
Yeah, my ceramics class.
You can make that here.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at the kiln downstairs that hasn't been turned on in several years.
You used it for bronze coins last year once.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So, the problem with that one is its display is starting to go.
Yeah.
You have to, aim with your heart.
For the temperatures.
I have the preset set, so as long as I don't ever change it, it should be fine.
Yeah, but for me to use it, that would be...
I think the other thing is that when you use it for the higher temperatures, the elements go bad quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm using stuff in 1700 range, so it's not
like 2400 range or 22 or whatever it is. Susie says, I love these. Thank you. And this is the last one I got back. I did 6 more today.
Oh, good job.
And so these are the 5 that I've gotten back, in addition to the original 4 that I did. These ones.
People seem to like it. Which one's your favorite?
Yeah, what's your favorite, everybody? This one has been a favorite, the swirls. I've been making some more swirls, although I didn't make any last week. I started a few, and I did 2 or 3 swirls, I think, today. I started working on them. Y'all like these? What do you think? Sorry I'm low energy. I have kind of a headache, and I'm a little bit not feeling great today. My stomach's been upset today.
I wonder what it is.
I don't know. I feel like I don't have a fever, but I feel like I have a fever. Like I just feel like I don't know. I don't feel optimal today.
Well, that's like my life now.
Let's see. Lena says hugs and kisses still my favorite. Which one is that one? You can this one?
The XO.
X's and O's. This one. I think I did some more of these, but I did little stars more than X's.
You know what they kind of remind me of? Chromosomes.
Chromosomes. I can see that.
Like
and says I love these dishes. Favorite are second from the left on top. This one, this new one. It's got multicolors. I did this one in the blue with the pinks and the yellows and the purple dots. And second from the left. Wait, favorites are second from the left on top and second from the left on the bottom. This one, the squiggly one. Squiggly. Those are the two. These are the new ones this week, and these are the older ones. So I have 6 more of these to come out of glaze next, and then I have about 4 more of them to finish up. And then that will be the kind of series of those. We'll see if I keep making them or if people like them enough to buy them, if I'm going to sell them, what's happening on those. But I've enjoyed making them. They've been a little bit of a different thing for me. They're hand built. They're not built using the wheel, which is different from what I normally do. But I'm getting good ideas for kind of patterns, and I have 2 or 3 mugs and bowls that I'm working with that I want to do these patterns on, and I got to kind of figure out what patterns I want to use and what glaze combinations I want to use on the mugs. Lena says plus the red X and O also plus squiggles. The red X and O plus squiggles. These one? Oh, this one maybe? No, that's not X and O.
Hey, did you see they changed the way that you turn on the camera?
With the little pop-ups. Yeah, they did that a long time ago, but they don't have the flip the camera, so
that mine does.
Not in the pop-up.
Oh, the mirror?
Mirror the camera.
Oh.
Because I mirror it, so I still got to go into settings to do it. They just need that button, and then they'll be really good. They are all wonderful. Michelle says, not sure which is my favorite. You don't usually mirror your camera, though. I don't know how you can stand it.
I don't know.
So those are my show and tell.
I don't look at the camera. That's how.
You don't look at the camera.
Do you want to just like clear out a bunch of stuff?
Sure.
Do you think that'd be fine?
Yeah.
Like I found this.
Let me put these away. If you already found some stuff.
I'm kind of like looking as I go.
I got to cut papers because I used the very last one last night. Here, let me put these up here again for you so you're not looking at nothing.
Okay.
I know that.
Oh, that bothers me.
It bothers Andrew. They make you all look at nothing. So what's going on? I have not heard about all of your days. What's your day? What's happening out there? How's your week going, everybody? It's Wednesday already.
We talked about the state fair.
The state fair? Do we have a state fair?
I'm sure we do.
Is it happening?
The Minnesota one is happening.
The Minnesota one.
And so we're talking about that. And then it started off at Hamont Spark. And how we're getting a bunch of stuff ready for that.
Did you show them the things we started making?
No, because I didn't want to run downstairs.
Oh.
Because I'm still.
I was going to bring them up, but I didn't know if they were secrets. So I didn't want to.
Nobody watches that.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know these things.
Maybe. I don't know if anybody who watches, who comes to the things will have watched a thing.
I think they came out pretty good.
Yeah, they look nice from what I saw.
I gotta finish the buttons tonight, and then tomorrow I gotta spend the day making the things for you.
I'm gonna try. Hopefully, I feel better for tomorrow, and then can drive and go to Pittsburgh and pick up the medal.
Yeah, I was gonna try and go with you, so we'll have to see what we can squeeze in.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Oh, okay, let me see. Let me find what's a combination of letters. I know I wouldn't have used ZVS. Let's just do that. ZVS. All right, everybody.
ZVS?
ZVS.
Alright, so we used to sell these ornaments. Since we shared a painting, I found this on the floor. And I was like, oh, that's like one of my paintings.
How much is this?
Originally, we were selling them for $20. But I think I'm gonna sell this for $5.
It's like really blowing it out on the color. That's weird. There we go. A little bit. That's a little bit better.
So that's my.
So you said $20 down to $5?
Yeah, I just want to start moving it out into the universe.
Okay, so this is an ornament that we did. It's dye sublimated of one of Andrew's paintings. Nice big hole there to hang on an ornament tree or wherever. Hang it on your wall. And dye sublimated wood, one available, ZVS1. If you'd like to purchase from this video, take down the lot number, send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. If you send an email, you're promising to take it if you get it, but it is first come, first serve. All right. If you have any questions or if you're new, let us know. But I haven't seen any new names pop up yet today. So y'all are old hat. You know how to do this.
Okay, show this
ZVS2. At that?
It was 8, but let's do it for 4.
Half price was 8. Doing it for 4.
At some point, this was a lot of work for somebody.
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't make this and sell it for 4.
Ceramics.
These are ceramic. This is a pendant. This is a pin. They are signed. Well, Maui, Hawaii. Signed with a KM from Maui, Hawaii. And same on this one.
Probably worth a fortune.
Zebras, ZVS2. $4 for both of them.
I thought that's fine. How about this?
ZVS3. How much is that?
We used to sell them for $4. I'll sell it for $1.
These are the Weeping Buddhas.
Do I feel like that today?
Oh, me too. I feel like crawling in a ball and weeping a little. Weeping Buddha, carved out of wood. One of these available. ZVS3, $1.
How about these ones? We were selling these for $2.64 each, and maybe $2 each.
How much? $2.64. $2 each. Oh, these are store stock.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. They've been on the floor here for a couple of years now, so.
5 of them available. Nope, I picked the one where the label is torn off. How did that get torn off? These are 8-0 opaque periwinkle Mayuki seed beads.
We had those for a kit.
And you get the tube of them done by weight. That's why the tube's not completely full. They're always done by weight. $2.64 originally, $2 now per tube. ZVS 4, 5 tubes available. We've sold ZVS 3. Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Here is this, since I showed this, we made these as a kit, but then I only found one of these, so I don't know. We may have tried to enamel it.
How much you want on this?
$3.
$3.
It's copper that we cut out with and ground on the edges in the pancake dye.
Copper ginkgo leaf.
If you want, I can punch a hole for you.
And that's ZVS 5. $3. We're doing quick sell-off stuff tonight.
Yeah, I want to make some room in here.
I'm just trying to make some room. Where's the garbage can? Oh, there it is. Thank you. All right. ZVS 6.
How about that?
How much you want on this?
Maybe $5.
These are $5 only for this opalescent glass. Vintage. Opalescent pink drops. ZVS 6. All right, let's see. We've sold ZVS 4. We've sold 2 of those.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. We have 3 of them still available. ZVS 1 we have sold. Thank you so much. And ZVS 5, the ginkgo leaf, we have sold. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Let me put these away. I'll take away the ones that have sold out. 5 is sold out.
About some lamp.
Do we have bags?
Here's one.
Thank you.
Do you need other kind?
This will fit this one for now. I will need more. Let's move this down. This down. Move this down. This is lampwork glass. ZVS 7. How much on this?
What do you think?
$8, $2 a bead.
Sure. It's a good deal.
It's a really good deal. That's a big lampwork glass.
We don't know who made them.
Only $2 a bead.
They're $2 a bead.
Well, we're selling out. That's why they're $2 a bead. Normally, still, even if we didn't know, it'd be a little bit more than that. These are about 17.5 millimeters. Let me see. I didn't give you a size on these. These are 9.5 by 23. Oh, we just sold 6. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Something smells burning.
Do you have your stuff on the stove?
Nope.
Then there shouldn't be anything burning.
Maybe the neighbors.
Yeah, they might be burning something outside. ZVS 8. Oh, I'm starting to smell it. Is this lamp work? Oh, look how pretty that is.
I thought that was a particularly good one.
How much you want on that one?
$6.
$6? That's a really good deal. Somebody put a lot of work into that one.
Yeah, I know. I kind of feel bad when I just, I'm like, all right.
$6. I know, because that took a lot of work. But we need to move this stuff sometimes.
Well,
and y'all are super good supporters, so you deserve the good prices. What were you going to say?
I also think I want to see people use it instead of us just collect it on
Hoarding it.
floor.
This is 24 approximately by 22 and a half.
That's a Patty Cahill bead.
ZVS 8 just sold. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
ZVS 9. How much for the Patty Cahill?
$5.
$5. See, we know who that one is, and still you're getting an excellent deal. On Patty Cahill Lamport glass. Look at that beautiful bead with cat hair on it. Got a lot of cat hairs. It's like we had a cat up here. What's going on? Gertie come to visit? I know, right? Is Gertie visiting again? This is really pretty. The color of this glass is like this berry red. So pretty. And this bead is about 16 by 15 and a half. Let me put 8 away. That one is sold, so no one's tempted.
Tempted by the fruit of the love.
I know. Tempted by the fruit of another. Okay. 2 is still available. We still have some 4s available. 7 is still available. And 9 is still available.
What about mix? Are y'all in favor of that?
Oh, 9 has just sold. You got another bag for me down there somewhere?
Is that a little one? Okay?
Little one, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lena says S looks like a 5. Oops. Yeah, my S's and 5s. They look similar. I know what you mean. We don't have a 50 and something yet.
Not yet.
Not tonight. Unless Andrew's doing this by himself.
No.
We'll get to like 30 tonight, probably, is about what I got in me.
We'll see if we even got that.
I know. My back is. I'm getting that.
My back.
I'm getting a stiff back, and I hope I'm not getting a fever. Hope I'm not getting something. I'm not around people that I should be getting anything.
What about this?
Other than my stops to the post office every once in a while. Once a day. How much on that? That's really pretty. Look at that, y'all.
$6.
$6 on that one. Oh, somebody tried to grab 9 again. Sorry, it has already sold.
Which one was that one?
That was the Patty Cahill. This one, however, is available. Please, if you're watching on YouTube, we always like to send out this reminder. Make sure you're watching live, especially during the lot sale portion. Make sure you're up to the live point, because you can watch in the past on YouTube. On Facebook, it makes you watch current. I think it still does that. So this one is ZVS 10, and that is 13 and a half approximately by 23 and a half. That's a really pretty kind of springy, summery. Boy, Andrew's camera really makes the light. I feel like it really blows out the light compared to mine. I'm not used to using his camera. That's a beautiful little tube-shaped bead. Oh, what are you bringing in?
My personal collection.
Oh, you actually gonna let some of that go?
Maybe. I haven't opened this in a couple years. So.
Did I leave my juice? Could you give me my juice, please? Thank you. Oh, we just sold 10. Thank you so much. Another little bag if you've got it down there. And if not, there's some maybe in there you can take out too. Thank you so much. We hope you're enjoying this sell down day. We didn't plan to do a sell down day, but
I don't know what we planned.
I pulled some stuff.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah, I wasn't sure about it. So I like this. This gives everybody a little bonus, and I think it's a light day that way. It's not like this is a $60 strand and an $80 strand. Although I like those days too because they're really pretty strands.
I was gonna show some $100 beads.
Well, he's like, I was going to. We'll still do that. I'm sure they'll be a good deal for what they are.
You wanna see something?
Is it for sale?
Just show it.
Just show it. What am I showing? This whole thing?
Yeah. Open it up.
What's in here?
Those are the first beads I ever made.
The first beads you ever made?
As an adult. On a PMC.
What are they? What are they? Precious metal clay, PMC, the first beads Andrew ever made as an adult. How about that? Aren't those cool? I didn't know that. Who knew?
I may not get anything out of this case though.
And then look at these. What are these, opals?
Uh-huh.
Look at these amazing.
One day I'll do something.
Amazing, amazing opals. I don't know if you're seeing the flash, but these are pretty dang nice. Who knew he had these? Now I know where they are. See those flashes in there? Your camera is very different than mine. The way it handles light and stuff. Look at those beautiful beads in this little carved stone box. The box itself is very nice too.
This is also in that case. And the little jadeite shot cup glasses. That was Wendy Bergman.
She's from Australia?
Uh-huh.
Where those opals probably came from?
Probably.
Super cute.
Also in that case, this was Catherine Worthington. I love those beads so hard, and I had to I don't know what I had to do to get that.
That was early, right?
Mm-hmm. And then
it's before we had the store.
Uh-huh. And that's Shannon Hill. He's dead now.
That's beautiful.
He was expert on the inside out bubbles and hollow forms because he used to make pipes. And then this one. This is Joanne Zakowski. She did too.
Yeah. That's cool.
And then this is pretty cute. I ordered this from Spain. And it's so stinking cute. I think his name is El Fuego on the internet. Isn't that charming? So cute. Remind me of my little podlings.
Mm-hmm. I brought some of those today.
Oh, for what?
For on the sale. They were in that collection. Somebody just mentioned them the other day.
I didn't even know I still had those.
Mm-hmm. Certificate of adoption.
That's pretty cute.
That is pretty cute.
I wish I was like smart like that and have little adoption certificates. And then this, you know who made this, right?
Who made that?
Maybe they know.
You don't know?
Her name starts with a K.
Any guesses? Anybody know? Beautiful bead, that's for sure. Lots of cat hair on it. Probably just stuck to my hands. I was petting the cats before it came up. Kimberly says, no clue, but I love it. It's a bug. I was just going to say, Kimberly, look, bugs.
Oh, I had a whole thing of bugs pulled before. But this is,
Carrie Fur?
Uh-huh.
That's what Anne said.
Her last name is Kerfluffle now.
Lennis just guessed Carrie Fur, too.
Uh-huh. That's what made it. And then this one, you all probably know this one right away.
Any guesses on that one, everybody? That's a cool one. Stacy.
Uh-huh.
Stacy Louise.
Yep.
Lennis and Ann, they're on top of it.
Okay, this one may be a little bit trickier. And maybe a little bit harder because she taught a bunch of people, and then a bunch of people started making beads that looked exactly like her beads. So,
Anybody got a guess on this one? Look at that gold foil. And I just guessed Stacy for the other one. There's so many layers to this bead. You've got the glass underneath, you've got the foil, you've got some mesh in there, you've got the glass on top, the clear coat. Anybody know? Anybody want to guess? No guesses.
Leah Fairbanks.
Leah Fairbanks.
Oh, you'll probably know this one. I think one of y'all asked for those.
That's cool. Kimberly said those are amazing works of art. Z beads, says Anne. Anna says, I was busy flossing my teeth, LOL.
What about this one?
That's cool.
You don't know that one. You know?
Nobody's guessing.
Do you know?
I don't know.
She kind of is
Joan.
Joan Miller.
Linus just said Joan.
Yeah.
I should have known that. So is this is glass?
No.
Porcelain?
Porcelain.
Yeah.
Slip.
It's amazing what she does with porcelain.
She pipes it on.
Kimberly says, I forgot the garlic toast in the oven. Oh no. Maybe that's what we smelled burning.
No, from here.
Lady from Israel, says Anna.
No.
Joan.
This one's from Australia. I had to, that one, I had to save up for that one, and it took like 10 centuries to get here. And I like it.
Kimberly says, haha, nice, William. This is beautiful.
Do y'all know who made that? If you show the back, it says the name.
I know. I flipped it real quick, but I don't think anybody would have been able to catch it. I looked at it and I still can't catch it.
Her name, Erin.
Erin Wintow? Lena says, I follow her. Ugh.
Normally her stuff sold out like immediately. So, I don't know.
Erin's Window. Is that what it is? Erin's Window.
You know this one? That's Kathy Van Cleek.
I like Kathy's work.
You know this one?
Oh, I do know this one.
That one named Jelani.
Jelani. See?
But that's not the name of who made it.
No.
And it's Barnaby.
Barnaby.
He's talking.
I know.
That's, anybody guess?
Nobody guessed.
That's Maureen Henricks.
It means mighty in the Swahili language.
Pumpkin huggies.
I like her. She's always looking out for the animals. I miss seeing her.
I haven't seen her in a year.
Mm-mm.
You know this one? Nobody's gonna get that. Unless you live in Hawaii. And people, they would fight. I've never seen little Asian ladies fight like that. They would fight.
Super cute.
Her name Kim, and she have a company called Juju Beads. And she made these little cute little animals out of glass. And people, they would Thunderdome it and storm the booth.
Holy owl, says Kimberly.
You don't know that I collect owls, do you? Wow. I'll just give you a little bit of a story. Do you know who made this one? I don't know if y'all know that one.
Kimberly says, I figured you did based on your art.
I have been collecting them for over 30 years.
Who gave you your first owl?
My aunt, Bernice. She was really my great aunt. And it was a little ceramic one. And my mom, she took it from me because she said I didn't know how to appreciate things.
Oh.
So,
Kimberly says, oh, wow, I love that little gray owl.
that's Karen Totten. These are just random vintage ones. And Weasel made this. She made tiny taxidermy miniature. She's dead now.
Yeah. Super cute. She was good at the miniature stuff.
She's super talented. That's one that she got the raw end of it.
Yep.
I don't think she ever got that acclaim that she should have. You know who made this? She's in Ireland right now.
Yeah, traveling. Many of you probably know who made this. Debbie says, how much is the small zebra? You get both of them for $4. ZVS2 is the lot number. And you get both zebras for $4.
Alright. I probably should wrap up the show and tell.
Yes.
Because otherwise we'll be looking at beads all night.
I know, my back is getting worse.
Alright, hand them back. I have more in this box, of course. And then I start looking at it, and then I'm like, well, this person's dead, so I shouldn't sell that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so.
Remember, if you'd like to claim anything, send us an email to info@allegorygallery.com. That's how you can claim anything in today's live. This is an intermission for show and tell. These last few items are not the lot numbers that are available. Is that available?
Yeah, there's another Patty Cahill one.
Okay, how much you want on that one?
$4.
$4. Patty Cahill, Lampwork Glass, ZVS 11 is this one.
You know, I should write all this down because I know my memory is starting to fade, and like, I don't remember who made this.
This is 18 millimeters by about
Maureen.
10.5. Andrew loves to tease us, says Kimberly. It's not so much teasing as it is being proud of his collection, right?
Plus, also, then if I forget, in theory, I can watch this video.
It's like, what video was that on again?
I don't
what
know.
video was that intermission in?
You want to see something?
Michelle says she is having a blast traveling.
How about this travel? Just to look.
Another show and tell?
Yeah. I got that in Tucson, in the old Tucson market. They have these shapeshifter creatures And then, so as I was told, and I could be wrong and I could be misrepresenting, but this dude, he went out in the woods. I don't know if it's the guy who carved this one or not. That he did the drugs and then started seeing the shapes in the wood, and then so he had to reveal the shape in the wood. But that, what is it said?
It is Nahual, a person who can change into an animal during the full moon, like the shapeshifters of North American indigenous. Ask any person what is their favorite animal or the animal which they most identify, and they will answer right away. These Nahual figures are carved in copal wood by the Zapotic people from San Martin, Tilcajete, and Oaxaca, Mexico. What is your favorite animal?
Oaxaca.
Oaxaca.
And so they're all different ones. I have a deer that's blue and it's playing drums, like a stag, more like a caribou, that's also dressed up in clothes. This one, I was like, I don't know what's happening here. Like
Kimberly says, LOL, I love seeing his collection. May is asking, stepped away, did I happen to get 10? Yes, you did. You got 10.
All right. You want some more things? What number are we on?
11 just sold, so ZVS 12 we're on.
How about this? This is cute.
Let me put this one away. Can you give me a little bag for 11, the Patty Cahill bead? Thank you. Let's put 11 away. Let me check here. Debbie's saying I sent an email. We did not get an email yet. Let me check junk.
What email did you send it?
For ZVS2, did you send it info@allegorygallery.com? It is still showing. It may be downloading messages. We'll see. But it hasn't popped up yet. info@allegorygallery.com. Make sure you send it to that address. It's up here and scrolling down here. How much you want on this? This is super dang cute.
$2.
$2. CVS 12.
Little piggy.
Little black and white piggy. Super cute. $2. ZVS 12. ZVS 13 coming up. And Debbie, you might want to check your sent email, make sure, because we have not gotten the email yet. Oh, I forgot to put gallery. Yes, we are Allegory Gallery. info@allegorygallery.com. ZVS 13. What you got for us?
These little rose slider bars. That's sterling.
How much you want on those?
Maybe 10 for the pair.
10 for the pair. Sterling silver. Only one pair available. ZVS 13. These are a 3-hole rose slider. Great for bracelets. And you get both of those for $10 sterling silver, 6.2 millimeters by 18. What is that? It sounded like somebody, those cats getting up to no good.
Sounds like it's from across the street.
Oh, okay. ZVS 14. And lettuces make great earrings too. Yeah, they would.
Slider bars too.
Okay, there we got Debbie. So I need a bag for the zebras, the bigger bag. Thank you. So ZVS 2 is claimed. We'll put that away now. Thank you so much. Put it over here. Let's move 4 down. We've still got 7 available, 12 is available, and 13 currently is still available. What do we have here?
Some bead caps.
Bead caps. How much for those? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bead caps.
$20.
Are they silver?
Yeah.
$20.
Basically give it away.
Yeah, that's for sterling. That is a wildly good price for granulated sterling bead caps. $20 for 5 pair.
Oh, I have another one of another pair of the little roses.
Oh, do you? They haven't sold yet, but I'll put 2 pairs available on here. And coming up, ZVS 15. $16 for the pair.
Yeah.
16 for the pair. 1 pair available of these cones, these sterling cones. We just sold 14, the sterling bead caps. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So let me put those away.
And then did you want to show some of your picks for tonight?
You can keep doing what you got if you want.
I managed to get up because my legs didn't fit.
Well, let's go to 20 and then we'll call it a night. Where are mine? Okay. ZVS 16. This is a grouping of lampwork beads by Angela Arrier. Am I pronouncing that right?
She does SCA, the Society of Creative Acronyms.
And these I thought would be great for Halloween.
They're supposed to be after old Viking beads.
And so you get this whole grouping of lampwork beads. These are $20 for the whole group. And you get all these little rondelles. So you get all of those lampwork beads for only $20. ZVS 16. Okay, let me need some bags for these tubes, please. Thank you.
Okay. And then
Put those away. We still have a few of those available. And I'm going to move these down so we have some more room. And ZVS 17 coming up. Let's see what I brought. It's fun. Somebody asked about Andrew's podlings the other day. So I'm going to do one of those. Why? I think they're super dang cute. These are Andrew's podlings. Some of y'all who've been with us for a while may remember these. If you've not, you may have missed out on these. These were super popular in-store and online. I think we only have 2 of them available. This one is available. They're $28 only. ZVS 17. Anne says, I have a sweet podling keeping me company in my studio. They're super cute. They're made out of polymer clay. They've got a hole through here so you can hang them. Little podling. A little swaddled up little baby. ZVS 17. ZVS 18. Kimberly says, I have the good luck friend in my studio. Love these. Debbie says, he's a cute little guy, right? I think so. And then this is a hand-carved bone bead. We did this for 10 before. I'll take it down to 8, but I can't go lower than 8. CVS 18. Hand-carved bone. Maybe an elephant. Kind of looks like an elephant. It's got the big ears. It's got the feet. Now that looks more like a piggy tail, but I don't know. Platypus, says Anna, maybe. Could be. It's got big ears. It's got the little tail.
Can you see it? Oh, that's from my collection.
Yeah. Armadillo on a ball, right? Could be. Could be. Got one of those. ZVS 19. Adorable, whatever he is, right? Debbie says you should make more. We haven't sold all the ones we've got. The podlings.
I was going to make some, but better.
But better. And then here's another one of these hand-carved bone beads. This was, again, 10, taking it down to 8. Another adorable one. I'm not quite sure what he is.
Probably one of them shapeshifters.
Right. And this one, these are about 23.5 millimeters. Let me do this one too. About 24 millimeters. So 23.5, 24 millimeter rounds. Hand carved bone. ZVS 18 and 19, only $8 each. ZVS 20, I think we're going to end on 20 tonight. I'm a little worn out. Andrew's worn out. We're both a little worn out today. It's been a long, weird week. Let's see. For those of you who like gemstones, let's end on a good price for gemstones. These are peach moonstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 strands available. They're normally 18 at least. Let's take them down to 14 a strand. These are beautiful peach moonstone drops. Drilled top to bottom, table cut, flat on the sides. Beautiful peach moonstone. Nice quality, just irregular drops. And they're approximately, let me give you an approximate, they're about 7 millimeters. They do vary in length. Let me grab one that's kind of about 9.5 millimeters. ZVS 20, $14 a strand. And that, I think, is going to be it for tonight, y'all.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. I like that you all got to hang out with Andrew and do a show and tell.
It got a little bit discombobulated, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
Hopefully it gave you a little bit of a break from stuff. We can't go completely without selling anything, but
Yeah, we had a little bit of selling at the end, but we're gonna cut a little shorter than normal tonight. Give everybody a break, give us a break, give you a break, and yeah. Debbie says, "Will you invoice me in my email?" Yes, we send out invoices within the hour after the show, and we send invoices via Square. I believe you've ordered from us before, right? We'll just send it to your email through Square. And that's it, y'all. Thank you so much. We hope you have an amazing, amazing evening. And Maybelline says, thanks for the show. Take it easy this evening. You all too. Have a great night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
all right, see ya.
Bye, everybody.